So let's do a quick week 1 of March recap. And that is going to be basically what I'll be doing today. And I'm going to start with the news and with my bias for the week that I got. Then I'll talk about time and price, uh, how not how my trading week went, but what can I see looking at this candlestick? Because everything is fractal. Even though it is a weekly candlestick, you can check on the monthly that sometimes the same type of candlestick happens like this one, a trending candlestick, a bearish trending candlestick. Because candlesticks are all the same. Just the time, the either the duration. So in this case, it's a monthly duration. In this week that we have, it's a weekly duration. We can have a daily duration of a candlestick, 12 hours. So in everything which differentiated candles, it's the time that it opens, time that it closes, the duration of the entire candlestick. So a 1 minute candle, just a simple 1 minute, whereas a 1 hour, it's a 1 hour, which is 60 1 minute candlesticks inside of it. But the idea is that everything is fractal. And even though that I'll be studying the weekly candlestick and how the weekly OZOC/weekly range panned out, and basically how the week went, trading week went, I'm aware that we can use everything from the 3 month, 6 month, 1 year to the 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. So starting, what can I see? Before even going to the charts, if we have the first thing that we have to acknowledge is the news, because news are most of the times going to dictate what type of candlestick are we expecting, what type of delivery, what type of. So basically, the news is like the foundation, to where then you go to the charts and you find not ideas, but you find confluences that that are backing and that are supporting your foundation, starting from the news. And of course, that you are not how can I say it? You are not like making a random prediction based on news. Like, oh my god, it's an FP and it's ESCM service PMI, so price is going to go higher. No, because you traded the past week, not this week, but the week 4 of February, and recapped the past week. Then I already have some kind of sentiment and some kind of narrative because I'm in the mud. So because I'm in the trenches, because I'm in the charts, that it's easier for me who has already when I have already my feet wet in the water, then imagine that someone is on vacations all of this year. Now, this past week, came back to the charts on the first week of March. It's a little bit harder for him to get an idea and a direction, a narrative that he can create a bias and that he can create a forecast, that he can create a game plan, uh, or not a game plan, but a game plan that he can use and have like a idea, not a strict idea, meaning that it's going to go Tuesday is going to be a low of the week. No, it's a flexible, bullet point game plan where you have your weekly down equity, in what half are you expecting something to happen, and so on, so on. And everything starts from your past experiences and your narrative that is already cooking, that's already making in the charts, and then into the starting a new week into the news events. So we're now recapping the news events this past week, which was the first week of March on the Gregorian calendar. What can I say? I see that we have Tuesday, Monday, no news, but sometimes this is kind of tricky, and I think I mentioned this on the last episode, where sometimes it's tricky because Monday there are some Mondays that either the price on this consolidates and expands. So on in candlesticks, there are only expansions or ranges. And then the ranges sometimes instead of being like a normal range, you have like a reversal range, retracement range, and so on, so on. But everything ranges goes from accumulation, expansion, expansion, accumulation, accumulation, expansion, expansion, accumulation. back and forth. So the news are going to tell you, is this week likely to be a range, or is this week likely to be an expansion, a trending candlestick? And then you can pick that idea from the high time frame charts. So from a macro perspective, which is the week, we can go lower into a micro perspective, being the days. So is Monday likely to expand? Yes and no, because we have no news, we have no narrative. So starting Monday, we are 50-50. You can either trend or you can either range. So you don't look more at it. That's why sometimes you shouldn't trade Monday, but you can then find a possible idea based on the charts. So because we are lacking information for Monday, then we're going to need information for Monday on the charts. Or you can just simply cut out Monday and only focus on the rest of the week, which many people do. I'm not a believer because sometimes Monday does indeed delivery and expands and trends in this case, but uh, it's most of the time the 50-50 because there are many times no news on Monday, and because of that there is not an ideal place to put yourself in. I learned that on I think it was 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, trying to trade Monday, believing that the expansion was going to happen, but unfortunately that did not happen. So I learned the lesson that Monday are more 50-50, even though that you can possibly see something on the charts. That's not that's not really that high probability because you want to have everything to stick together. You want to have the best probabilities to have a high probability trade. So this means that you want to have the charts, the previous narrative, and the news aligned, so you can have a very well cooked trade idea. So Tuesday there are news at 10 USD. So this for me indicates that Tuesday is likely to be a bit more not rangy, but this for me indicate that Tuesday can be a reversal point of interest. So Monday accumulation, Tuesday retrace, Tuesday reversal, and then followed by the Wednesday, Thursday expansion. But this is a week one, so week ones are likely to be either a range and a trend. It's always both of those. Like we don't trade Monday because sometimes it's 50-50. We don't trade the week one, which is um, assigned and identified on the high time frame charts as Monday. So the Monday of the month is week one. So many times week one either expands and trends on the upside, on the downside, wherever it's going to go, or it ranges and accumulates. And then on week two you have the reversal. But these news for me are telling me that we are going to expand and we're going to trend. And not that we are going to trend because you can't basically see looking at the news you can say okay because of today because of Tuesday we have ESE we have PMI services, it's going to range because we have an FP price is going to trend because we have this Thursday news price going to trend. You can't do that, but you can see that we have a lot of movement on these days. Tuesday we have movement, not a lot, but we have movement. On Wednesday, we have a lot of movement. 8:15 and 10 a.m. o'clock, a lot of movement. Thursday, a lot of movement as well, with EU and EUSD news. And Friday, it's going to be a lot of movement as well. So, we at least know that price is going to move. I mean, that's not going to stick. It can either move as a range, so it goes higher, it then goes lower, then go back higher, go back slower. So like always going, or see my mouse, always going up, down, up, down. That's ranging. Or it can move in a directional bias in the same direction. It goes moves ups, then down, ups and down, up and down, and that's a trend. That's what it's calling a trend instead of a range. So that's the main idea is looking at the news and think to yourself, what is going to happen? Are we more likely to first you need to identify if there are going to be movement or not. So imagine that I go to the next week. Okay, a lot of movement as well. Let's see if I can find a week with not a lot of movement. So imagine this week. What can I see? Okay, we do not have a lot of news. Very small news at 10 8 a.m. So are in this week are we going to be likely to have movement or not, don't have a lot of movement? So that's why people said that are the news that news don't move the price, but news are the smoke that price uses to then go in the direction that the algorithm wants price to go. So first point is looking at the news and addressing if the news is likely to have movement or not. If it's not likely to have movement, then I think that I shouldn't even be in front of the charts. There's no need for that. Use that to foretest, use that to backtest, use that to go out, use that to do anything of your time, study entrepreneurship, anything. But on trading, you have to identify if the like we identify if a day is worth trading, you need to identify if a week is worth trading based off on the news. So is this week going worth to be trading week with this very not a lot of news? I don't think so. So you need to know that. Then after you identify if the week is likely to have movement on it or not, you need to identify what are the news and where it's likely to move, right? Because okay, we have movement, but in what days are going to be the movement? So you go here, we can see that we have NFP. We can see that we have a lot of news on Thursday, so Thursday is likely to be a very busy and a volatile day. We have Wednesday with a lot of news. So that's basically the start is acknowledging and identifying if the news is if the day if the weekly candlestick or if the week is going to be it's going to move or it's going to stay and chop. Not chop but just stay quiet and not move. And then you need to identify if it's not worth it, but in what days you want to position yourself for. And then after you acknowledge that okay, we have yes, we have ESCM services PMI at 10, and then I have the second half of the week with Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with a lot of news events. So this for me tells it Wednesday that from Wednesday 5 a.m. to Friday closing of the week, price is going to move a lot, and that's the place you want to place yourself. So after you acknowledge everything, you need to make a bias, right? So this is the one point of the bias, which is in what half or in what days you want to push it. So let me just open a notepad to make it easier. So first, is it going to move or is it going to stay quiet slash do nothing? And it is based off the news. After, same thing. In what days are is price more likely to have a lot of volatility? News also. Then we make your bias. What is the where is the weekly candlestick likely to go? When? How? Narrative? Uh, game plan flexible. Game plan, etc. This is where your bias comes from. And then the bias, of course, originates from the charts. And then you open the charts and you have to ask that questions to yourself. Where is likely to go? So I'm opening now my notebook and I said that bias again planned for this week. Previous week, February week 4, with an inside candlestick slash accumulation. We can see this previous inside candlestick accumulation. Expecting to be a lot of movement already on Monday, but I'm going only to engage on Tuesday. Why I'm saying that? Because we can see on daily chart that we have three candles on downside into this breaker, also 3-day fair value gap. I didn't catch this low, this Monday low, and this low I didn't catch on the previous week. on the previous week, 4th of February. And then this is immediately followed by Friday closing above on the past week, which was the first day of the month, meaning that I was looking at these three down close candles as an order block slash proportion block. Meaning that Monday I was looking to price to expand immediately on the upside. Expecting a trending week 1 candlestick after previous week accumulation, as we can see once more. And the XY lower slash EU higher. So I acknowledge that the EU was going to trade lower, and EU is going to trade higher, the XY is going to trade lower, the GU is likely as well to trade higher. To where? To where, right? So we have the how. How it's going to trade higher. Where? So it's going to go higher, where it's going to go higher. And my drawn liquidity was a 2-week high. This high right here was my 2-week draw on liquidity, which was immediately traded on Wednesday. So that was basically the buys of the week. I then made a recap. I'm not going to do the recap because it's more personal. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it's a bit more on the psychology, but it's a bit more personal. Now going to the weekly candles, you can see that we have the no weekly low, so no discount week. Immediately after the weekly open price expanded on the upside, so immediately higher prices into the 2-week drawn liquidity, which was the high that I was looking for as a weekly draw, as a magnet in this case. On the daily chart, we can see that we have Monday expansion, Tuesday retracement, followed by expansion on Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday another range. So range on Tuesday, range on Monday, range on Friday, Monday expansion, so Monday trend, Tuesday range, Wednesday trend, Thursday trend, and then Friday range to cap the weekly. So weekly low on Monday, weekly high on Friday. On 12-hour chart, what this is 4, 3, it's this is the 2-hour. Let me just put this. Okay, and this is the 1, 8, 4, 3. Okay, so I talked about the daily candlestick. Basically the weekly candlestick divided in days. We can see we have Monday, like I mentioned, expanding, closing above the order proportion block. So we can now use this proportion block as an accumulation POI. On Tuesday, we retraced lower into a discount of Monday. Notice our price didn't trade below the weekly open, right? So that pattern of Tuesday trading to the weekly down here to then go higher didn't happen because the Monday low was made and there was no need. Just like sometimes on Asia, it makes the accumulation of the day. What do I mean by this? Pretty simple. Sometimes we have the Asia range, no, right? Price ranges. That makes a low on London and expands, right? This is a range. Sometimes it doesn't range, and sometimes it's on the Asia that we make the manipulation. So we use London as the manipulation to then reverse. ICT has that rule like 70% of the times the high of the day or low of the day are made in London, meaning that that's a manipulation swing, that's a Judas swing. But sometimes, and that happens a lot, we see that we have a manipulation on Asia, making in this case the high of the day, and then price go lower and continues lower on the London rate, the London session. It's important to notice and to be flexible about that. So Tuesday retraces lower with that range candlestick, followed by another trend on the Tuesday. We can see that price dropped lower once more into retracement, not able to take these lows out before expanding. Same thing again on Thursday, another retracement into a discount of Wednesday before then continue on the upside, making this high, and then on Friday we have price capping the weekly candlestick, making the weekly high before the after making the weekly low on Monday. The 12 hour now I have let me just okay on the 12 hour now we can see the this is from the 8 hour if I think yeah this is the 8 hour. I'm going to mention everything and then I'm going to end. So on the 12 hour you can see price creating these equal lows. We have this fair value gap open acting as a breakaway gap, and we can see that the price closed above this order block right here. So this on close candle, up close candle, after making this Thursday low and Friday trading on the upside. So this is Thursday, this is Friday, this is Monday, two candlesticks, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We can see that we have price accumulating above it, above this order block, this up close candle. And I'm going to be honest, I believed and I expected price to trade lower to this breakaway gap, fair value gap, before going higher. That did not happen because sometimes breakers are because they are higher in the hierarchy. If I can say hierarchy
Hierarchy.
hierarchy because they are higher in the hierarchy. Sometimes fair value gaps and imbalance are left unfilled because breakers are above it or below it. And this is the sense. We have this up close candle acting also as a breaker, and price didn't have the need to trade lower into this fair value gap before going upside. We can see into then I'm going to divide the week right here into halves, first half, second half. First half expansion, making this eye of the day on the eye of the second half, this eye of the second half retraces lower to then price violates this second half eye and expands on the upside. Same thing here, you can see that this is now the premium week after being closed, as you can see. This order block, a big a big bearish candlestick, big bearish and bulky candlestick. On downside, it has a fair value gap, which price didn't trade to, and we consolidated above it before going on the upside. I'm now going to take off these both of those, not that one. I'm going to take this one and this one out. I'm going now only to select the daily candlesticks. So Monday, Tuesday, three candlesticks of 8 hours. Wednesday, Thursday, and then and then Friday, as we can see. So that's basically everything that I mentioned. Monday, a mini trend, range on Tuesday, followed by another trend on Wednesday. We have price dropping lower into this fair value gap, 8 hours. At the 8 hour candlestick between 1 and 9, we have price dropping into this Wednesday uh, second 8 hour candlestick on Thursday. So Thursday at second 8 hour candlestick, we drop lower into the Wednesday second 8 hour candlestick as a fair value gap before price expanding on the upside, making the high of the day on Friday closing lower. So that's basically it. I don't think that I have a lot more talk about. We can see that above this week high, we went into this daily high, into this another highs. This expecting this break, this fair value gap, which I mentioned a lot on the previous recaps. As you can see that we closed above it on Friday. So on the 4 hour you can see price open, weekly open, expansion, accumulation above the expansion at a key level, trend, retracement, 12-hour retracement, 12-hour trend, creating a bullish trending candlestick on Wednesday, then another range on Friday with the NFPI capping the weekly high. So I think that's everything for today. That's all.